England kick off their World Cup campaign up against Iran over in Group B. Is this a plain sailing, easy peasy victory for England, or will it be something else? We're going to take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks. Back once again with another World Cup Rivals video. Jacob Bloody Ward, of course, Blackburn Rovers sensation, opinionated, hot little puppy right there, coming at you. But this time to talk about England's hope for Qatar 2022. We'll get to it in a minute. Of course, if you're new, where you been? Smash your subscribe button, bang on it. All things Rovers related, England related, World Cup related. We're going to all hear boys under one Ruski, of course. But if you're new, where you been? Check out the links, of course. And a big shout out to the VIPs. They are patrons, of course. Jacob, welcome back to the channel, of course. Your non-stop content for Rovers. We do appreciate your vlogs, your hard-earned stuff out there. But also, we're switching focus now. We're going to put that Lancashire derby behind us. What are your hopes? Well, actually, tell them a little bit about yourselves, of course. And, of course, your English supporting history.
I mean, I think we go into it quite hopeful, I guess. I mean, obviously, there's more than mixed emotions with a lot of fans regarding Southgate. That is the massive question in the room, obviously. I think more than a few fans would be happy to see the back of him, but the pedigree's there. I mean, how many better teams have we had before, you know, these tournaments to go on about the golden generation, Beckham, Rooney, whatnot, and they couldn't do what these lads have done, to be fair. And it is very much safety first with Southgate. It is, you know, do not concede, and then we're just trusting Kane or Sterling or whatnot to go grab us a goal. But it's proven to do the business, to be fair. You know, you look at the team we had when we got to the semi-finals of the last World Cup. We had Ashley Young playing in that bloody team. You know, like 32 years of age or somewhere, his best years well behind him, and he was playing in that game. So you look at that team and you just think, how did it even get there to that point, to be fair? Obviously, with the Euros, we've come to see how poor that Italy team actually is, really. I think they were in a very good run of form. Obviously, I think they were 20, 30 games unbeaten, something ridiculous, and fair play to them. But obviously, they've not qualified for this World Cup. A very aging squad, you know, with the likes of Chiellini and whatnot leaving the team. Bit of transition for them. And that was really a home tournament for us too. So I think that was kind of what kind of soured things a little bit for England fans, because it was almost like the stars were aligned and that was our year, and it was like we haven't done it again. But I think he's more than deserved this tournament. You know, you would expect us to obviously get out the group stage. It's quite a favourable one. There will be some tasty matches, obviously. Wales, USA, rivalries there. But, you know, if we weren't to get out the group, then obviously I would expect him to be sacked. But you know, it just depends who we pull in. I think we've got a chance of potentially getting France in the last 8. I'm not sure if that's the case or not, but I think we're due to get a good team in the quarterfinals if we were to make it. So obviously it's thrown about whenever we play the big boys. We can never do it. Let's just wait and see, and hopefully it's coming home.
Yeah, it could actually be coming home, and that would be something, of course, to happen. You know, in this day and age, of course, living off the 66 England are still now, so it's about bloody time they got another bit of silverware, perhaps. But firstly, you've got to take care of Iran. What do you know about them as we get closer to the kickoff?
I've actually got a friend who's from Iran. He come over here because of the war and the apartheid over there. So I've been mates with him since the start of high school. So I hope to be watching it with him. It should be a good game to watch together. But I mean, I can't claim to know too much about the Iranian football club. I can't lie. I mean, I know there's a few names like Saman Ghoddos. I think he plays for Brentford, I'm going to say. And a few others, I guess, here and there. But it's obviously a game we should be winning. That should be a guaranteed 3 points, you would hope. And then as long as we win one of the other 2 games against Wales or USA, that should see us through, you would hope. But obviously, I'm a bit annoyed. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff, which is one of the bad things, I guess, about it being in Qatar, unfortunately. But hopefully hopefully I can still catch the game.
Yeah. Well, at least it's not a 5 a.m. or an 8 a.m., which is what I've got to deal with on this side of the pond. Okay, but just how far can this England team go? Is it dreaming of the quarterfinals, or do you have a small twinkle in your eye to think that realistically we can go all the way?
I mean, I think anything's possible with this England team. Like I said, I think we've shown that. I mean, the last World Cup, we did have quite a favourable draw. Don't think anyone could deny that. We had Colombia, beat them on pens, and then I'm going to say I think it was Sweden, who were riding their luck a bit, or had just they weren't a good team on paper anyway. I'll just say that. And then obviously we get Croatia, another team who we probably should have dispatched of, to be fair. But yeah, it all depends on the draw, doesn't it? I think if we end up pulling a France or something and we end up going out to them, I don't think there can be too many grumbles. But obviously, it would be nice to see England beat one of these teams who are in their pomp. You know, we've beat Germany in the Euros, whatnot, but obviously a very different Germany team to the Germany team that won the World Cup in 2014. A bit of a transition for them as well, with a lot of players coming out of that team. So yeah, I mean, I'd give us a chance, but I feel like the defence, in particular the centre halves, is a bit of a problem for us. I would say. I think obviously you've got Stones, who is a good centre half, but doesn't play all the games for Man City. Obviously, Pep Roulette there, you know, in and out all the time with the amount of depth they have. Harry Maguire, obviously, you know, I think everyone knows everything there is to need to know about Harry Maguire and everything that's gone on there. And then you're scratching your head after that. If it isn't Harry Maguire, is it going to be Conor Cody? No, probably not. You know, so I can see him going with a back three to try and supplement Harry Maguire. Safety first, because the centre-back partnership, if it was just two of them, would probably not be strong enough. And basically just try and shit out 1-0s, 2-0s, I think. It'll be the same formation as we played in the Euros, I'm sure. And yeah, I mean, we've got Kane up top at the end of the day, and if he hits some form like he did in the last World Cup, he got the Golden Boot in the last one, there's absolutely no reason why we couldn't beat any team. But it's just the centre halves are a bit concerning for me anyway.
All right. Now, speaking of not necessarily the centre halves, but maybe Gary Kane, for those that aren't English fans and don't really keep up to date with the three lions, who's the guy for you that's going to get us off our seats with excitement for England?
Ooh, I mean, in terms of excitement, I'd say Bukayo Saka. I think he's a very exciting player. I think he'll feature in this World Cup. I think Phil Foden has that potential, but has never really done it in an England shirt. You know, that demolition of Manchester United, got himself a hat-trick in that game with Haaland. You know, he is a quality player. He will likely be played on the wing because we're probably going to have, you know, Rice and Bellingham in the midfield, and then a front three ahead. But yeah, like I've mentioned, he's never really done it for England. Got the Gaza haircut and all that for the Euros, and yeah, I didn't really live up to it, unfortunately. But he definitely has the minerals for it. Just needs to sit in England shirt. But I'd say him and Saka are the players who will excite for a neutral for sure.
Okay, so let's just say Southgate's taken the day off, the night off, given you the dugout for this game only, Iran. What's your starting 11 for this game?
I'd say due to the centre back problem, I'd have to go with a 5-2-3. I'd say. I'd go with Pickford in net. I'd probably play Trent for this one because it's Iran. I feel like they're obviously going to sit back, try and nick a draw from this game, you would think, or try and nick a 1-0. So I would play Trent in this one, but other games I would be giving Trippier the nod. I'd play Stones, Maguire, and then the other centre half spot's a bit of a toss up really. You've got Dyer, Cody, some other names obviously chucked in there. I'd probably go with Dyer He's not been too. He's been good for Spurs overall this season. He has had a bit of a bad patch at the minute. Had a really bad game the other day against. I can't remember. I think it was Newcastle. I think he had a really bad game against. I'd say Luke Shaw left back, left wing back, Bellingham, Rice in the middle, and then up top, I think I'd go Saka, Kane, and Foden. I think Sterling's been a bit too poor recently to start in this team, but we know what Southgate's like, so he could very well feature in front of Saka or Foden for sure.
Good lineup, yeah. Okay, so there is another game going on in Group B, Wales against the United States. What do you think will happen in that game, but what also do you want to happen in that game?
I could see that being a tight affair. I think both teams are quite equally matched. I think you've both got your star players. You know, obviously USA have Pulisic. They've got the Leeds lads. They're quite good players. Obviously for Wales, it's all about Gareth Bale. You know, Aaron Ramsey's kind of struggled for game time. Might not be as influential as he once was. But obviously, you know, you've both got good players, but then also you've got weaker players compared to England, whereas England's players obviously all kind of a very good level, I would say. Obviously, you know, Wales squad in particular will be littered with EFL players, won't they?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I'd say I'd expect a draw, and I'd probably want to draw as well. I think obviously either of those two sides, depending on how they go into the tournament, are going to be the ones pushing England for that top spot. You know, I can't see it with Iran, so I would take a draw. If you draw, then obviously kind of decreases the risk of one of those teams getting the top spot off England. Obviously, if USA were to win it, then it puts the pressure on England. So I'd take a draw right now, and I do think it would be a draw. I think it's quite an even matchup and should make a good game, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. And yeah, I can't separate them myself at the moment. But of course, you have to have a go at this one as well. England, Iran. What do you think the final score will be when these two lock horns?
I'd hope for a 2-0. Nothing too exciting. Just kind of
boring 2-0.
Grounded start. Yeah, a very just England. Just get the job done 2-0. I don't think we're going to start this tournament amazingly well. So I'm glad we've got Iran to start with. I think hopefully we can grow into the tournament as the fans get behind and maybe start to believe as we do. The England team can really flourish just as it has. I'm hoping the ill will towards Southgate, obviously going into this tournament, we've had a really rough run of games, really getting beaten by Italy, I think Germany as well. Hungary, yeah, those were the real stinkers, those Hungary games. Obviously, we're out of the top group now or whatever in the Nations League, aren't we, due to that? So obviously there's a lot of mending to be done there. Obviously a decent win against Iran will go a long way. Then it's USA after that. You can get a result there. You then go into that Wales game and hopefully the fans are well and truly behind Southgate at that point. If we beat Wales, then they definitely will be, you know, obviously rights of the home nations and whatnot. And last time we played them in a major tournament in the Euros, we did the business 2-1. So hopefully we can do that. And then we go into the last 16 full of confidence, I guess, and we'll just ride our luck, see who we get.
Now, of course, England do kick off their World Cup game. I've already done that one, haven't I? Thanks again, bloody Jacob, for your time and your expertise about all things England. Of course, hopefully we'll catch up with you as the tournament gets closer and, of course, even kicks off. So appreciate you guys stopping by and appreciate you guys for giving him some of your time. While you're at it, though, make sure you smash your thumbs up, smash your little bell as well. We'll go again, of course, looking forward to England's game, the post-match as well, all that kind of stuff coming here at Blackburn Overseas, of course. Will they get the second one of these? That's right. Can England do it? Can they? Bloody, I don't think they can, but they might. They're in the mixer, of course. But anyway, make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, smash that bell. We go again, of course. There is a phone in as well, so make sure you stick around for that bad boy around about the 20th, all the way through to the final. But until then, kids and girls and that, and all that kind of stuff, we're bouncing out.